In terms of the new administration, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy's new Department of Government Efficiency, which is short-termed as DOGE, giving a shout out to my next guest who has been trying to save tax dollars and cut waste for years on Capitol Hill. And DOGE posted this clip with some of Senator Rand Paul's greatest hits. Watch.
To give tequila to Sunfish and gin and see which one made them more aggressive. Nearly $1 million spent studying whether or not Japanese quail, if you give them cocaine, whether or not they're more sexually promiscuous. To study what did Armstrong say, what did Neil Armstrong say when he landed on the moon. In the end, $750,000 later, they couldn't decide. Was it one step for man, one step for a man?
Unbelievable. Let's bring in Senator Paul, serves on the Foreign Relations Committee. We want to ask him about Ukraine as well, and is set to become chairman of the Homeland Security Committee. Senator Paul, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
I want to play this quick soundbite from Vivek Ramaswamy about what they want to do and get your thoughts on it. Let's watch.
We expect certain agencies to be deleted outright. We expect mass reductions in force in areas of the federal government that are bloated. We expect massive cuts among federal contractors and others who are overbilling the federal government. So, yes, we expect all of the above. And I think people will be surprised by, how quickly we're able to move.
So you know things better than Vivek Ramaswamy does, actually, in terms of what happens on the Hill and how difficult it is to cut through these agencies. Are you optimistic that this can be accomplished, as he says?
I feel like I'm at a revival meeting and I can say, amen, Vivek, amen. I'm with you. We've already forwarded them 2,000 pages of waste that could be cut. I'm all in and will do anything I can to help them. I think we've never had a president and a team like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy that have this degree of momentum, incisiveness, and frankly, energy and drive to do it. That's what it takes. It's a monster. It's a Leviathan. But can you cut? Sure, you can cut. You can cut through attrition. You can cut through letting people go. There are some departments that would be gone and you would not know it. The Department of Education, we've had it for 40 years. The scores of our students are worse. If it was gone tomorrow, it would not affect education, although it might help education because you'd have more local control of your schools. Can they do it all through executive action? Maybe not, but by pointing it out and ridiculing it and then doing what they can through executive action, I think we're going to draw a lot of attention to it, and maybe some of my colleagues will wake up.
Let me ask you that. So just Department of Education, can the president, through executive action, eliminate it? I know Musk has talked about paying people 2 years of severance and time to go find their own job, still saving money.
You know, that's yet to be determined. The money will be allocated by Congress. And so this debate went on in the Nixon era when he impounded money. The court said he actually couldn't impound money. If he was told to spend it, the president had to spend it. So there will be that debate. There's also another way you can get at spending. It's called rescission. So money is sent over. The president says, well, we don't need this much money. We don't need this many people. We'd like to send some back. Has to be voted on by Congress, and that's a rescission package, but it gets special privilege, and it only is a simple majority. So if rescission would work and all the Republicans stay together, you could cut billions, if not trillions of dollars in spending. So everything they're talking about doing, the most practical way of doing it probably includes Congress, but it's included through what's called a rescission package, which has privilege, meaning it'll get a vote, and it can be done by simple majority. I'm going to work with their team and do everything I can to give them advice on how to do it. On the regulatory front, I think they can immediately begin writing regulations to undo regulations. So I think there's a lot they can do by executive action on deregulating us. And if they're real activists on it, I think a lot could get done. We've never had an administration, including the previous Trump administration, I think that was this aggressive. I'm all for it, and the sooner we get started, the better.
Yeah, there's a window in the first 100 days when the momentum can be behind these things. And as Elon Musk has said, we've watched him slash spending. Any successful businessman knows that watching every penny is the key to success. And if we can see some of that applied to government, I think we'd see some real change. This is, I want to switch gears here and talk about what's happening in Ukraine, where they are now firing ATACMS missiles into Russian territory. This is Volodymyr Zelensky, about the ATACMS, they're called, these long-range missiles going into Russia now at the Biden administration's behest. and or acceptance of this idea. And then you'll hear from Foreign Minister from Russia, Sergei Lavrov. Watch.
We now have ATACMS, and we'll use them, all of them.
The fact that ATACMS was used repeatedly in the Bryansk region tonight, of course, it is a signal that they want to escalate the conflict.
What's your reaction to all that?
Well, you know, President Trump has promised to end the conflict, and I would like to give him a chance to do that. President Biden, by giving them this newfound power that he resisted for a long time, does threaten to escalate the situation and isn't getting us closer to a peaceful resolution. I think it would be better if we were talking about a ceasefire and the beginning of negotiations. It's going to end in negotiations. Neither side can win. And I think sending attacks farther into Russia, sure, they could be justified from a moral point of view that Russia attacked them and they deserve it. But at the same time, I don't think it brings us any closer to peace and does risk enhancing and making the situation worse.
Well, a lot of questions about why President Biden would be doing this in the final hours of his administration when they have asked for it, and we sent them over there and then restricted their use for all of these months while the war has been going on. Senator Rand Paul, always good to see you, sir. Thank you, very much.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.